Warren Eckstein.
Hey, good morning, everyone, and welcome once again to the Pet Show. Are you being pushed around by your pug? Is your rescued feline feeling a bit forlorn? Does your terrier have you in a tizzy? Well, if you love animals, care about wildlife and the environment, and I mean really want to try to understand your dog or cat's behavior almost as well as they understand yours, if you're confused about their behavior or just want to improve their lifestyle, you know what to do. Stay tuned because once again, right here, right now, it is time for the Pet Show. America's first and only real pet psychology, pet training, pet behavior, and of course, pet lifestyle show. So hop up on my couch, bring those furry little buddies with you, folks, because it is that time once again to let the animal analyzing begin. Hello, everybody. I'm Warren Eckstein. This is the Pet Show. The place where we absolutely, positively, never a doubt about it, love, adore, and as I stress every single week, respect pets and animals as much as you do. By the way, you want to join me on the Ever-Growing Pet Show, family? You want to find out why your cat's waking you up in the middle of the night, pooped on your bed, doesn't get along with the other cat in the household, scratched your favorite chair, your dog's not housebroken, chewed everything in sight, digging holes in your backyard, schleps you down the block when he sees another dog? That's what we do here on the Pet Show. We help you resolve, well, how can I put this? We help you resolve any issues that you might be having with your dog or cat's behavior. But a whole lot more likely, folks, is any issues your dog or cat may be having with your behavior. I say it every week, and I mean it. It is not easy living with human beings. We are the most neurotic living things in the world. We'll talk about that a little bit later on the show. But as always, plenty of time to answer all of your pet and animal questions. Lots of great stuff to give away on the show as well today. Hugs and Kisses back in stock for your dog. So I got Hugs and Kisses, Lucy pet food, books, flea spray, all kinds of air horns, lots of great stuff to give away. So everyone that calls into the show and gets to talk to me live on the air, either with a question or a comment, if you just want to brag about your dog, that's cool too. The phone number here at the Pet Show, 866-870-KRLA. That's 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752, 866-870-5752. That is the through. Plenty of time to answer all of your pet and animal questions. And as I said, lots of great stuff to give away on the show. So how do your dogs and your cats make out during the 4th of July? I'm broadcasting today from Arizona. And you know, it's interesting because fireworks are illegal in Los Angeles, obviously. And in Arizona, where I live, fireworks are legal. And yet, for some reason, I heard almost nothing on the 4th of July. Molly and Willie were happily hanging out in bed with us. So I don't know why it is, but I guess where they're illegal, it makes more fireworks than where they're legal. I don't know. There's got to be something to that. There's some kind of weird story there, Kevin, where they're illegal. Where they're illegal, you hear them. Where they're legal, you don't hear as many. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. By the way, now is the time to start preparing your dogs and your cats for the next 4th of July or noisy time of year. If we can take the time to not only accustom our dogs and our cats to the sounds, but actually desensitize them, what a difference that can make. And so many dogs and cats are just absolutely petrified between thunderstorms and lightning strikes. And I'm in Arizona now. I'm waiting for the monsoons to hit us and firecrackers and Harley Davidsons. You heard me, Kevin, and Harley Davidsons as well. 866-870-KRLA. Let me tell you what is coming up on today's show. By the way, Alex is off today, so the lovely Kevin is engineering, and as always, the amazing Suzette will be answering all of your pet and animal questions. No, she won't. I'll be answering your pet and animal questions. Suzette will be answering your phone calls. Be nice to her. 866-870-KRLA. Let me tell you what I have planned for today's show. Listen, does your dog not seem to be as sharp or responsive as they used to be? Are you noticing major behavior changes that are changing as your dog ages? You know, I'm not going to get political, but we hear a lot lately, an awful lot lately, about cognitive decline. So I thought it'd be a good time to talk about does cognitive decline affect our dogs and our cats as well? But more so, we're going to focus on dogs today. Cognitive decline, you know, I hate to say this, but over the years, there are thousands and thousands and thousands of dogs that I've trained over the years. People would call me up and say, well, my dog was great. Now he's 10 years old. He doesn't listen the same way he used to listen, doesn't respond the same way he used to respond. Is there something else going on here? I've been to the vet. The vet says the dog is totally healthy physically. Is there something else? Can a dog have cognitive deficiencies? We'll talk about that coming out a little bit later. I'd like to get your ideas on that as well. Also coming up, listen, guys, if you love your cat, you say you do, but sometimes I get this question a lot. Sometimes that cat may turn around and give you a little bit of a bite. What is that all about? We call them love bites. We sure do. But are they really love, or are they something entirely else? And this is also important. Many studies suggest that not greeting your dog when you arrive home, or not saying goodbye when you leave, some say by doing that, it can actually cause or resolve separation anxiety. Do you believe it's true? Do you believe you should not say goodbye to your dog or hello when you come up? Give me a call. I'd love to hear from you guys as well. And also, I talk about this on the air a lot. I do have rheumatoid arthritis, in a pretty severe case, and I've had it for many, many years. And one of the most important things that I can do to deal with it is stretch and exercise a little bit. And, every doctor I've ever spoken to, whether it be Dr. Darrow or before me, any doctor, always talks about the importance of stretching for us. But what about stretching for your dogs and cats? It's equally important. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. And so many animal physical therapists and specialists, veterinarians, and behaviorists also recommend the importance of stretching for your dogs and cats. So we'll talk about that as well. As always, plenty of time for your questions and comments. As I said, lots of great stuff to give away. If you're new to the show, by the way, I'm not giving away biscuits here. Many of the items I give away are worth $20, $30, $40, or even $50. So we're going to do that as well. So if your dog's confused, if they're jumping, chewing, scratching, maybe a rescued cat's confused about the litter box, or that dog you just adopted is not housebroken, maybe doesn't get along with other dogs, maybe he was out on the streets and had to fight to survive, or maybe your dog just believes that if he sees it, he has to hump it, give me a call, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. You can read books, you can study behavior for as many years as I've studied behavior. You can go to every university, every college all around the world. But I've learned more from you than I've learned anywhere else. My listeners, over 45 years of talking to you, whether it be on the radio or on TV, I have learned more from you guys than anyone else. So I want to get some input from you as well. It's hot in California. It's hotter, 118 degrees yesterday where I am. So it's hotter where I am. Does anyone have, I'll give some advice, but I want to get your advice. What would your advice be if you have a neighbor that's new to dog guardianship and they don't know how to deal with the heat? What recommendations would you give them to help them get their dogs through the heat, like the 7-second test to make sure it's not too hot? Give me a call. Let me know. I'll send you a great gift. 870 KRLA 866-870-5752. And the question of the day is this. What do your pets do to get your attention? What do they do to get your attention? Do they bark? Do they beg? Do they jump on you? Does your cat bite you? What do your pets do to get your attention? Give me a call. I'll send you a great gift. 866-870-KRLA 866-870-5752. That is the way to get through to the show. Again, a little warmer I am today. I think it's going to be up about 117 or 118 degrees again. But you know what? People say to me, Warren, come on, how can you deal with that heat? I'm a New Yorker, Long Island. That's where I grew up. Never got that hot, but it was very, very humid on Long Island. I got to admit that. So even when it gets to hot here, I'm in the house, I'm in the car. Costco has air conditioning. The local restaurants have air conditioning. I'm fine. I can deal with this heat. As long as I got some water, iced tea, air conditioning, and my 2 dogs are cool, I'm a happy guy. 866-870-KRLA. Let me start with a phone call. This one first coming in from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, one of my favorite places in the whole world. I love going over that Delaware Memorial Bridge. Let's go to my friend Cookie. Hey, Cookie, welcome to the show.
Hi, Warren. How are you?
I'm doing fine, Cookie. What can I do for you today?
Well, I live in Pennsylvania. A friend of mine lives in Texas. She asked me to call in because I have a older cat. He's 17, over 17 now. He is in kidney failure. I've been giving him the subcutaneous fluids this past year. I think it's a behavioral problem. He cries. he'll eat some food and he's still chewing, and he'll just start like caterwaulering, really loud, high-pitched crying. His teeth are fine. He's been checked at the vet and everything. And if I'm on the phone talking to somebody, he'll start doing it too if he's not napping.
Well, Cookie, let me ask you a question. Cookie, let me ask you a question, Cookie. You're on the phone, right?
Yeah.
Nobody else in the house, right?
No, nobody's here but me.
Who do you think your cat thinks you're talking to?
I don't know anybody but him.
Well, you're on the phone. Cats are smart, but they don't get the phone, so the cat comes over and starts whining and making noise because he assumes you're talking to him. There's nobody else in the house. There's nobody else in the house. You're on the phone, of course, the cat. Oh, but let's go a little bit further, okay? You told me the vet's giving you a clean bill of health. I hope that's true. I hope the teeth and the gums are in really, really good shape. But let me tell you what's going on here. If there's no, is that him?
Yeah, that's him.
Okay.
That's relatively wild, though.
If there's no physical pain and the vet's giving you a clean bill of health, that sound breaks my heart. Here's what may be going on here. You have a 17-year-old cat. The cat's hearing is nowhere near where it used to be. When any living things, whether it be my grandfather, a cat, a dog, makes no difference. When they get older and their hearing starts to really fade a little bit, their vocalizations become louder, more often, craziness. So it sounds to me, if the vet's giving you a clean bill of health, what I would think or assume at this point, it's probably due to the fact that the cat is losing the majority of its hearing. So what's my advice to you? Here's my advice. 17-year-old cat, give him a hug, give him a kiss, enjoy every meow you ever get from him, and years left as you possibly can.
Well, good advice, yeah. That's what I was thinking is hearing. Maybe.
Yeah, it's absolutely it's here. But listen, what we're going to do is don't go in. I'm going to put you on hold, and the lovely Suzette's going to pick up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you some kitty lickies from my friends at Lucy Pet. I think that would be really beneficial for you. But a lot of people don't realize that. And I know it sounds crazy, and I know I've said this before. I get so many people that call me up with their dog or their cat, and they say, we can't talk on the phone. I work out of my home. I'm trying to do business calls. There's nobody around but me and my dog or me and my cat. I'm trying to have this great conversation. Big deal going on here. And my dog is barking when I get on the phone, or my cat is meowing when I get on the phone. Think about it. Think about it, folks, from your dog or cat's point of view. No one else is around. You're by yourself in the house except for your dog or your cat. If I was in a house by myself with one other person and they were talking, I would have the same assumption my dog and cat have, that they're talking to me. So don't get angry at your dog or cat when you're talking on the phone. Maybe you can distract them a little bit, but they're assuming that you're talking to them. Hey, the phone number here at the Pet Show, 866-870-KRLA. Let me take a quick break. When I come back, we're going to talk to Linda, Barbara, and Ty. I got hugs and kisses to give away, kitty lickies. I got copies of my best-selling books, Dog or Cat, all natural flea spray, T-shirts that say none of my friends walk upright, Lucy Pet Food, and maybe my engineer Kevin's Harley Davidson. Lots of great stuff to give away in the show. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. A quick break, then right back at you. You know, for years now, for pet parents now are admitting that their dogs and cats have interrupted romantic time with their partner several times. 51% of U.S. pet parents say their pets have interrupted their romantic time with their partner. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number, 866-870-5752. I got a question the other day, why my dog is staring at me. And, the bottom line is there's a lot of different reasons that a dog may actually stare. I'll talk about those in a few minutes. But if you have an idea, anyone out there have a staring dog, I'll tell you what it's all about. It could mean a lot of different things. We'll share that with you coming up in a bit. But right now, let me take another call. Let's go to my friend Linda. Hi, Linda, in Los Angeles. Hey, Linda, welcome to the show.
Yes, hello, Warren. How are you doing?
I could not be better. A little warm in Arizona, but I'm doing pretty well.
You're in Arizona now?
Yeah, I live in Arizona now.
Wow. Okay, I didn't know you moved. I haven't called for a while. I used to be engaged to a man in Dana Point who had 12 dogs. And I remember talking to you about them. I'm acquainted, Warren, with a man who's rather a recluse, who has right now a 3-month Frenchie.
So wait. Let me stop here a second. The last time we spoke, you were living with a man that had 12 dogs. Now you got a man who's a recluse. Maybe you ought to choose your man a little bit.
No,
better.
I don't have a man. He's just an acquaintance.
Just an acquaintance. Okay, go ahead.
Just an acquaintance. I hope he's listening, because I gave him the time of your show and where the channel was. Has a 3-month Frenchie that was a rescue and doesn't know what to feed him. I hope he's listening.
Yeah, that's the easiest question in the world, what to feed him. Of course, I'm going to recommend the food I feed my own pets. Why? I know where it's made. I know who makes it. I know the ingredients that go into it. I know the care and the love and attention. I know it's made in their own plant. And what am I talking about? Of course, I'm talking about Lucy Pet Food. I've been talking about Lucy Pet Food for years now. It's the food I recommend.
Let me tell you something, Warren. I looked up Lucy on the web.
Yeah.
And the phone numbers that were given were no good. No good. I tried various pet stores to see if they could get Lucy for me, and they couldn't. It was very difficult. Very, very, very difficult.
It's
so
easy enough.
Give me a phone number.
It's easy. No, just go to their website. Just go to their website.
I did.
Lucy.
And I tried the phone numbers, and
go to their website, lucypetproducts.com. lucypetproducts.com. I'm sure there'll be a phone number at their website. I don't have the phone number in front of me, but that's where I would go at this point. It's easy enough to find. For example, where do you live in Los Angeles?
Oh, near Monterey Park.
I wish I knew the area better. You can go to one of Teresa's pet stores. I know they carry it. But if you go to their website,
I'm like 10 minutes from South Pasadena.
Go to their website. I'm sure there's a list of stores that you can get in. There should be no problem getting it. In fact, what I'll do, how about this? I'm going to put you on hold. I'm going to send you some Lucy Pet Food for your friend. You can either give your address and give it to him, or you can give his address, whatever you want to do. But the bottom line is, all you need to do is go to their website, lucypetfood.com, lucypetproducts.com. I'm telling you, it's the food I recommend. And how would I recommend any other type of food if it's not being fed to my own pet? So that's what I recommend. So what I'm doing is I'm putting you on hold. Suzette will pick up, get your address. We'll send you some Lucy Pet Food to get you started. I'm sure they have an 800 number. I just don't have it in my in my copy right now. 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. So the question was, coming up, why does my dog stare at me? I actually wrote it down for you, so let me just share this, because I get this an awful lot. Number one, a dog may stare at you as a sign of affection. Dogs stare at people they love in a relaxed, comfortable way. It could be to get attention. Sometimes if your dog stares at you, you react, and they'll get attention for it. Maybe exercise. They want something. They know if they stare at you long enough, they'll get it. Also, it may be aggressive. Sometimes if a dog's staring at you hard, it could be an aggressive. It could be cognitive dysfunction. So if you have a dog staring at you constantly, usually it's affection with my listeners, but if you have a dog that's staring at something, you may want to check with your vet as well. Could be other things going on there. But usually my interpretation, and I've done this for a few weeks, when my dogs stare at me, what they're saying is, I love you. I love you. And I want to be with you. That's my interpretation. What's yours? When your dog stares at you, what do you think? Oh, your cat stares at you? Why do you think they're staring? A lot of different reasons that can be. But I would say for the majority of my listeners, the staring is either the dog or cat wants something. The dog or cat either has you guys well trained, and they know if they stare at you, you're going to give them a treat. You're going to take them outside. You're going to do something with them. They're a little bit smarter than we are sometimes. So that's many of the reasons why a dog may be staring at you. And in most cases, it's not a negative thing. It's a positive thing. 866-870-KRLA. 866-870-5752. Do you say goodbye to your dog when you leave? Do you say hello to your dog when you come home? According to many, many trainers and behaviorists, that's a no-no. Shame on you for saying hello and goodbye. Do I agree with that? Do I disagree with that? Don't go anywhere. We'll talk about that when we come back. Also when we come back, we'll be talking to Barbara in Los Angeles. We've got Ty in Los Angeles. We're also going to go to Gary in Chula Vista. We'll get to all your calls. The phone number again, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. A quick break, then right back to your phone calls. I'm Warren Eckstein. This is The Pet Show. See, this is the white noise that I go to sleep with every night. This is what I listen to when I go to sleep. Much better than listening to people talking or singing, even meditation, just listening to the animals around. Hey, we are back on The Pet Show. I'm Warren Eckstein. Phone number here, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Plenty of time for your calls. I still got some hugs and kisses to give away. I got kitty lickies and doggy lickies to give away. I have those t-shirts that are absolutely amazing that say none of my friends walk upright. I have all natural herbal flea spray to give away as well. Plenty of time for your calls. As I said, lots of great stuff to give away. Even if you just want to answer the question, and the question of the day is pretty simple. What does your dog or cat do to get your attention? What does your dog or cat do to get your attention? Give me a call, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Let me get back to the phone lines here. Let's go to my friend Ty in Los Angeles. Hey, Ty, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you.
How can I help you, Ty?
Well, to answer your question, I have a Pomeranian who, can you hear me okay? First of all?
Absolutely, yeah.
Great. Okay, I have a little Pomeranian who likes to stay on the perch near a window and play Sentinel or Neighborhood Watch. He knows when something's wrong outside, like if a dog is loose, and he will change the pitch in his voice or like his growl bark combo, and it's so noticeable. I'm like, I know instantly something's going on outside. He's a smart dog.
First of all, a Pomeranian might be a little in size, but it's one of those northern breeds. In its head, it's a Great Dane. They are amazing little dogs. But here's what's good about this, okay? It's a great call, by the way. And the reason I think this is such a great call, Ty, is for this reason. A lot of people know when their dog is barking. A lot of people may know when their dog is growling. But someone like yourself who actually has taken the time to differentiate and understand that different barks, different growls, different sounds mean different things. For example, there are people who say to me, Warren, my dog barks at the front door. Well, is he barking at the front door for no reason? Is he barking at the front door maybe for a reason that you don't know about? To differentiate in terms of the barking. For example, when I come to the front door and I'm coming home, Molly and Willie bark a certain way. If there's a stranger coming to the front door, they bark another way. How do I know that? Because I've taken the time to really study their different sounds and their behaviors and their barking and their growling. So it's so astute of you, Ty, to be able to pick up on that. And you're absolutely right. If people would spend more time trying to understand and evaluate and interpret what their dogs and their cats are trying to say to us, the relationship would be even so much better. So again, people would call me up like you, Ty, and they would say to me, well, I have a Pomeranian. He barks at everything. He barks for no reason. No, there's always a reason, and it's a cognitive guardian like yourself that's able to interpret and figure out specifically why your Pomeranian may be making the sound that he's making. What a relationship is. A good relationship you guys have?
He's my primary attachment. So, yeah. We bonded over 2020. I had no roommates. It was just us.
So this was a dog that actually came in as part of the COVID.
Yes, yeah. That's the year he was born. That same year I lost another Pomeranian who was 16.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And
What's this one?
I went straight out and got another one.
What's this one's name?
He came to me with the name Rocky, but I call him.
So he's not only you a great pet guardian, but you also adopted him?
It was just I woke up one night and I was like, I'm trying to look at what's on Craigslist. I found it in Sacramento. I drove to Sacramento.
A very, very strange lady you are, Ty. A very strange. But but listen, this dog. I can tell right off the bat how much you love this dog, and he has the life of Riley. So, what a great thing. I'm trying to think what I want to send you for Ty. I can send you a copy of my dog book. You know what? Never mind. I know what I'm sending you.
I'd love to read.
Oh, great. So I'm going to put you on hold and say hello to the lovely Suzette when she picks up. She has a hard job. And we will send you a copy of How to Get Your Dog to Do What You Want. By the way, people are saying, Warren, I know you wrote the book a while ago, but I want to get a copy. Where do I get it? You can go to Amazon.com and just check out How to Get Your Dog to Do What You Want and How to Get Your Cat to Do What You Want. Go to my website, thepetshow.com. You can get it there as well. So check it out. 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Got a couple of open lines, which is pretty rare here on the Pet Show, but let me see if I can go to Barbara at this point. Hey, Barbara, welcome to the show.
Hey, Warren. The fireworks are really bad this year, so
that's what I heard. Yeah, and they're legal. What amazes me, you can go to the supermarket. There's a supermarket here called Fry's, which I guess in L.A. would be Ralph's. The same ownership, Kroger. It's only so you can go to a Ralph's store here. It's not called, and they have big firework displays. You can buy fireworks by the tons if you want. And yet on the 4th of July, I'm in my home and I heard a couple of boom bang bands, and that was it. Molly and Willie were absolutely fine. It wasn't that noisy. Yet when I lived in Santa Monica, it was like I was back in Southeast Asia on 4th of July. It was just crazy.
You made the right decision.
Yeah,
so
I guess I did.
I'm sorry. People are always talking over you. That drives me crazy. So, I don't want to do the same thing. My border collie, Fiona, is about 14. I've had her for 12 and a half years. She looks great. People can't believe that she's 14. She might be a little bit slower when we're walking, but she's very sharp. I spend a lot of time with her. We know each other's body language, so she's just looking at me, and I know, or she's bristling a little. I know she's got to go out to the bathroom. Or she sees me in the morning, we get up, go right up to walk. She sees me braiding my hair, and she knows as soon as I finish that, we're going right out, and she shows the body language. The cats, the 24-year-old cat will call me from the kitchen to come and pick her up. If the other cats are not in there with her, she doesn't like to be alone, so I'll go get her. It's a very small apartment. But so that was an answer to your question. But I have something wonderful, I think, to share with others for keeping dogs clean in the summer.
Yeah.
My childhood friend, we're still friends from when we were 10 years old, Bill in New Jersey, lives at the shore there. He sent my dog for her birthday a portable shower, and I just never thought of buying one before. We have the basic one. It's a rechargeable battery that's encased in, covered in plastic or whatever. It's, I guess, a lithium battery. You put it in the water. It's attached to a pretty long hose. And a wonderful shower head, better than the one I have in my bathroom. And we live in the apartment, and there's a little backyard. So I just took her out there, and with 2 buckets of water. You could use lake water. You can take this camping with you. And you just put it in the water, turn it on, and it gets the dog really nice and wet, very gently, very quickly. You turn it off, soak her up, and let it sit for a while. And then it rinses very, very well. And it's like $35 or $40. And
great idea. Forget the dog. I want to use it on myself.
Exactly. You can take it camping. I probably can't say the name on the air, right?
No, sure you can. Go ahead.
Okay, the one I have is Ivation, but if you Google portable showers, there are other ones too. Mine's red, and it's kind of a nice red, but they're all different colors. And I just think it's so great. It's a great idea. A lot of people living in Southern California do take their dogs to the beach or to different areas, even the dog park, and it's a good idea to have, give your dog a good bath, and you can't always throw them in the tub. So being able to do this outside is a great idea. Really super idea. Anyway, go ahead. The groomer is very expensive too, so I'm also learning to cut her nails just a little at a time.
Well, there's a great article on my there's a great article on my website, thepetshow.com, on how to trim your cattails. Anyway, I got to move on. Great information, by the way. I appreciate the call. I'm going to put you on hold, and I want to send you. I am going to send you a T-shirt for you that says "None of my friends woke up right," because obviously, from listening to you, none of them do. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. 866-870-5752. Few open lines. Great time to give me a call. Let me take a quick break here. Listen. If you are lucky enough, really, we are back. Who has the best music? We are back on the Pet Show. I'm Warren Eckstein. That number, 866-870-KRLA. We got plenty of time. We got a whole hour to go after this. But right now, let me go to Chula Vista and Gary. Hi, Gary. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Warren. How are you today?
I could not be. A little warm, but other than that, Gary, I'm doing great. What's up?
Well, that sounds great. Well, you and I were in the Air Force at about the same time, and I was a dog handler as well. And one of the things I learned...
Did you go to Lackland, Century Dogs at Lackland?
No, I went to the Wiesbaden School in Germany.
I was at Wiesbaden, the beautiful, beautiful. I was stationed at Rhein-Main at Frankfurt for a while, and I spent some time at Wiesbaden.
I was at a base called Zweibrücken.
I'm not familiar with that base.
Anyway,
what can I do for you?
One of the things I learned about dog handling was you've got to be. It's important that you create a visual connection with your dog so that you can command the dog without having to make noise. And so I've always had a great visual connection. My dog is Riley. He's a schnoodle, and he makes great visual connection with me. He lets me know when he's hungry, when he wants a treat, when he wants to go somewhere or do something. It's amazing.
Well, you're absolutely right, Gary. The visual connection that someone who has the knowledge you do, someone has with their dog is absolutely amazing. There are people that have no background like you or I, but yet they have this ability to connect with their dog, in some cases their cat, with this visualization. For example, I know when my dogs are with me, the look that they need this or the look that they need that. So yeah, you're absolutely right. But the amazing part is if a dog is trained properly and if a dog is educated with love and positive attention, their focus when you're with them is on your face.
And Riley, as a standard poodle mix, they know that language means something. They don't always know what it means, but they know that when you speak, it's worth listening to, and they make great eye contact.
You're absolutely right. Speaking of, when I was in Europe, speaking of eye contact, I did a lot of advanced training called Schutzhund training and French ring sport training. And it's just amazing when you work with these animals, especially in Schutzhund or ring sport, when you walk with these dogs or a well-trained dog, they're walking at your side, but their eyes and their focus is always directed at your face because the face gives, the expressions you have mean so much to the dog. They pick up on expressions so much better than other people do.
That's an amazing connection to have that with a dog.
Incredible. What a great call, by the way. So how long were you in the Air Force, Gary?
Oh, I did my 4-year term.
Always in Germany or here? Were you Southeast Asia at all?
I was in Germany for 2 years, and I spent the rest of my time in Michigan at a base called Wurtsmith. Both of those bases are gone now, by the way.
Yes.
They were both closed. But
makes me feel old when I think about some of the bases that closed that I was at. Sure, go ahead. What's the tip?
A couple of years ago, I went back to Germany to visit my base, and it made me sad because it's not like I remembered it.
Well, I was stationed with a 601st Direct Air Support Squadron. So for a year, I lived in a truck, in a deuce and a half.
Oh.
And it was a small field called Bonamace Army Airfield. And it's where Piper Cubs would fly in with high-ranking generals and colonels or whatever. And my job there was protect. It was a communication center in a truck, where forward combat control. So it was interesting. But you know what? I love the Air Force. It was a great time. But I'm glad I'm not in it anymore. However, now that I'm living in Arizona, I got to tell you, Gary, now that I'm living in Arizona, I'm only a few miles away from an Air Force base here. And the bottom line is I got F-16s flying overhead 24 hours a day. And you know what? They don't even bother me. Is
that Davis-Monthan?
No, I'm trying to think of the name. Why can't I think of the name of it? Luke. Maybe
Williams,
it's Luke.
Or Luke?
I think it's Luke. I'll have to check that anyway. Anyway, Gary, great call, by the way. Don't go in. I'm going to put you on hold. We're going to send you, you know what? I'm going to send you some hugs and kisses for your dog, and I appreciate the phone call. 866-870-KRLA. A quick break, then right back to the rest of your calls. Listen. I want to talk to you for a second about this. In the news lately, we've been hearing an awful lot about cognitive problems, whether it be with people or pets. So does your dog seem to be as sharp as they used to be? Are you noticing that their behavior may be changing? There's a lot of things that take place as our pets get older. Could be cognitive issues. We know what cognitive issues mean. They don't think the same way. Maybe they get confused. They look at you a little bit different. They don't react to the way you tell them to sit, and they don't remember sit, or they don't remember their commands, or maybe they regressed on their housebreaking. Dogs, just like humans, can experience cognitive dysfunction syndrome or doggy dementia. It's similar to Alzheimer's disease in humans and is characterized by gradual deterioration in cognitive abilities in senior dogs. Studies have found that the condition can start to develop when a dog is between 8 and 9 years old. What causes cognitive issues with dogs? Well, we really don't know. It could be genetic predisposition. Certain breeds are more apt to have it than others. It could also be just a normal aging process, or it could be neurological changes taking place. But it's real important that people understand that as our dogs get older, as our cats get older, you're going to notice changes in their behavior. Please, please, please be patient and understand that dogs and cats going through some type of cognitive issues need the patience of a good pet guardian like yourself. Remember that. We'll talk more about that. If you have any questions about that or any questions about your dog or cat, great time to give me a call. The phone number here, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Plenty of time for your calls. A whole other hour to go. Lots of great stuff to give away. I'm Warren Eckstein, and yes, you are listening to The Pet Show. Hey, so I'm Warren Eckstein. You're listening to The Pet Show, now entering, I believe it's our 45th consecutive year on the air. Could that possibly be, Kevin? 45 years. Wow, I must have started real young. Anyway, we got a whole hour to go. Plenty of time for your calls. Lots of great stuff to give away. If you have a question about your dog or cat's behavior, chewing, jumping, barking, digging, scratching, litter box issues, great time to call me. The phone number here at The Pet Show, 866-870-KRLA. Just a reminder, if you call and we talk live on the air and I like you, well, even if I don't, I'll send a super gift to your best friend. Many of the gifts I give away are worth $25, $35, or $40. The phone number here, 866-870-5752. The question of the day is, what do your dogs and cats do to get your attention? What do you mind change the channel on the TV? What do your dogs and cats do to get your attention? Give me a call, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Just reminds me of a story years ago. Do you remember, does anyone remember when people, guys that were really, really technical would build their own TVs? I think it was called a Heath kit. I think it was a manufacturer. Maybe they're still around, Heath kits. Thank you, Kevin. Heath kits. And I remember years ago, I was working with a very affluent client on Fifth Avenue in Manhattan, and they called me up and they said, Warren, this is the problem. My dog changes the TV channel. And I said, how does the dog change? I mean, I'm good, but how does it? It turned out that when he built this Heath kit, he built it in such a way that the dog's tag on the collar, when the dog would walk past it, somehow it worked like a remote and would change the channel. So the guy could have channel 7 when he left the house and come back to channel 3 when he got home. And he could never figure it out, what was causing it. And it took me a while. I got to be honest with you. It took me an awful while to figure it out as well. But it was the dog's collar that was triggering the changing of the channel. So neither one of us were crazy. The dog just did not want to watch Jeopardy. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. Let's get right to the busy phone lines here. Christine, welcome to the show.
Hi, hey, Warren. How are you?
I'm doing good, Christine. How are you doing?
I'm okay. I was listening to you about a dog staring at you, and you said that means the dog loves you.
Well, that's one of the reasons. I mean, the dogs, here's another reason that a lot of people don't understand. If your dog looks at you and he's staring at you, and for some reason, while the dog is staring at you, the ears go up and he starts tilting his head. When they stare at you with the ears up and the head tilting, sometimes they're trying to understand. They're a little confused. What do you really want me to do? So it's really important, and I'm so glad we had some earlier calls, that people are training your dog, educating your dog. All of that is so important, your cats as well, but most important is really, really understanding how our pets communicate with us, so we can have that amazing relationship that so many of us are really lucky to have.
Well, my dog, she passed on now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But, she used to wake me up, not like really wake me up. She would kind of lick my nose, and then I would wake up, and she'd be staring at me.
Well, sometimes, sometimes staring, when a dog stares at you or a cat stares at you, as I said, I gave you a whole list, but it could mean just a sign of love, a sign of affection. I
took it as a sign of love. I did.
Yeah.
Because she was born with scoliosis, so
Okay.
she was in pain, off and on. But for some reason, there were certain times, especially at night, she wanted me to play with her, and I would try to go to sleep to go to work. And she would wake me up, and then as soon as I would open my eyes, she'd stare at me and wiggle her shoulders and get all excited. Like
She wanted more time with mom. Yeah, but I got to move on. But the staring is absolutely a sign of love. It could be a sign of confusion. It could be a sign of aggressive behavior also. So it's real important. That's why I say if pet guardians would spend. Yeah, if pet guardians. If pet guardians
stare at her, hold her, and just stare at her, and just love her so much.
There you go.
And then she would start growling at me.
yeah. Well, there you go. I got to move on, but I'm going to say goodbye. But I know you want me to donate your gift to a humane group, and I will do that. Staring has so many different meanings. It could be love, could be anger, could be confusion. If you notice, as I said, the tilt of the head could be confusion, or sometimes it's when you notice your dog tilting your head and you're talking to them. Sometimes they're trying to understand what we're trying to say. We're not as easy to understand sometimes as we like to be. Still coming up, do you have a cat? Do you ever have a love bite from your cat? You ever wonder what that's all about? We'll talk about that coming up. The phone number here, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. The question of the day is, what do your pets do to get your attention? If you answer the question, I'll give you a gift as well. I still got hugs and kisses to give away, some more Lucy pet food, kitty lickies, doggy lickies, 866-870-5752. That is the way to get through to the show. Just before I get to another phone call right now, people are often asking me about their pets, and that's what I do for a living, obviously, for a lot of years. Let's face it, you know your dogs better than anyone else. You know your cats better than anyone else. So it's easier for you to tell. And this is why it's so important. I love veterinarians. They're amazing people. But sometimes some of the best work a veterinarian can do is based on the guardian and what they know. So it's easy for you to tell when your dog or cat may not be themselves. It's important always to trust your instincts. If there's something that doesn't look right, sound right, smell right, feel right, chances are it isn't right. So when it comes to people giving you advice, well, do this, do that, don't take your dog, don't worry about it, don't take your cat. You know your dog and cat better than anyone else out there. And if you notice something that's upsetting or concerning you, great time to speak to your veterinarian and get it resolved. So many people just let it go, and letting it go is no resolution to the problem. Finding out what's causing the problem, that is, in fact, your resolution. 866-870-5752. That is the way to get through. 866-870-5752. We'll get to you, Nancy. We'll get to you, Marcia. But right now, it's Robin in Palos Verdes. Hey, Robin. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Warren. Thank you for taking my call.
It's my pleasure. Robin.
I have two cats. One is very itching to get outside, and he's got a lot of energy, and he got outside once for a couple minutes, and now he just really, you can tell wants out, and I don't know if I'm being cruel by not letting him be a little bit of an indoor cat.
Well, let me stop you for a second. The average lifespan for an outdoor cat is approximately 3 to 5 years. The average lifespan for an indoor cat is 14, 15, and 16 years. So the choice is yours. But I understand the guilt. I definitely understand. Listen, I grew up in a Long Island Jewish household. When it comes to guilt, I am an expert on guilt. So listen to me carefully, Robin.
Yeah.
Here's what I want you to understand, okay? Cats are nomadic by nature. They love changes. They love the outside, the smells, the plants, the new things. But it's up to you as a good pet guardian to make the inside of your home outside interesting. How do we do that? Well, you don't have to plant a palm tree in the middle of your living room, but there are an amazing number of cat-safe plants, organic cat-safe plants that you can grow within the home and move them around and change. Okay? There's also, I know people go out and you might go out and buy expensive scratching post and this and that and the other thing. Bring home a cardboard box from Ralph's that's like Kitty Nirvana. So it's important that if you have an indoor cat, which I do advocate and recommend, that you make the environment interesting. You make the environment not constant, but changing. Sure, the bed and certain things need to be constant, but bringing in the paper bags, bringing in the organic catnip and other brands, bringing in the cardboard boxes and changing them and moving them around and being creative with them, that makes all the difference in the world. So the fact that you can keep your cat interested is really safer keeping him inside. Now, I know there are people out there scream, oh, my cat loves to be outdoors. You know, when I was a kid, I loved to play in the road, but cars came down and I can hit by a car. So my parents didn't let me. They made my backyard interesting with a tether ball and a little blow-up swimming pool, so I enjoyed the backyard. So if you make the interest part of your house interesting. But here's another option for you. And this is a good option. A lot of people are going this way. If you go online to Amazon, or wherever you want to go, Walmart, doesn't make any difference. They have enclosures, safe enclosures now, that can fit into a window area, like a window box, or actually an enclosure which you can put outside of a door. And they're not expensive. And this gives your cat the opportunity to go outside in a safe way. Let's face it, you're in Palos Verdes, there's a few coyotes there and other animals as well.
Right.
So the bottom line is keeping the cat safe is a lot more important. But you can keep them safe and happy either by making sure the inside of the home is as interesting as the outside, or by giving them the opportunity to go outside, but in a safe way. In my book, I talk about teaching a cat to walk on a leash and harness. That's another option for you. But a lot of people are really going for these window boxes and these enclosures now, which are safe, cat safe. Coyotes can't get in. Cats can go in there, enjoy the outside, but at the same time, be safe and come back inside for their meals at night. How's that sound to you?
That sounds good. And I did buy a harness, and I was going to ask if that was a good option as well. And you just
Make sure it's a good figure 8 harness. And here's how to get started. Don't try to put it on the cat. Take the harness, just lie it down alongside of her food dish. Lie it down on the floor before you give her a treat or a new toy. Let her just look at the harness and start associating it with something positive. After a few days of that, take the harness, just lie it on the cat's back. Don't put it on, lie it on the back. Take it off just before dinner. Once we get the cat associating the harness with a lot of positive references, little by little, eventually we'll get the harness on her, and you could be walking up and down the streets of Palos Verdes. It's not that difficult. It just takes a lot of patience. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do this. I'm going to put you on hold, and I am going to send you a copy of How to Get Your Cat to Do What You Want. One of my favorite books, bestseller for years. Why? There's an entire chapter in there on teaching your cat to walk in a harness and a lead. And for those people that want to take the time, it's a great option. My engineer who's not here today, Alex, I don't know where Alex is, he's somewhere. and Alex has his cats both walking on lead harnesses, so they get to go outside in a safe way. I remember when I was training David Letterman's 2 dogs, he said, Warren, can you train a cat to walk on a leash and harness? And I brought my cat onto the show, Letterman show, and I showed him, and he said, wow, you're absolutely right. So just don't assume that cats can't be trained. I think cats are just smart enough to realize that they don't have to let people know that they can be trained. Hey, we're going to take a quick break. The phone number, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. That is the way to get through, 870-KRLA. Plenty of time for your calls. Lots of great stuff to give away. Come on, guys. What does your cat or dog do to get your attention? Give me a call, and a great gift will be on its way to you. So 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. I'm listening to, I remember when Lion King was on Broadway, I guess, and I had trained many dogs for Broadway shows, The Thin Man, and other shows as well. And I'm not a Broadway show goer, so all these shows like The Lion King I never got to see. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number, 866-870-5752. Come on, guys, what does your dog or cat do to get your attention? I've had dogs that would take their food bowl and toss it across the room. I've had cats that would jump on top of my head. I've had dogs that would call, no, I'm just joking, call me up. What does your dog or cat do to get your attention? Give me a call, let me know, and I'll send you a great gift, 866-870-KRLA. Just before I get back to the phone line, so I want to hear from you guys about this as well. Speaking of cats, what are love bites all about? You know, cats like to play. I wrote this week for my YouTube, by the way, youtube.com/Warren Eckstein. Check it out, subscribe. Cats like to play, and it is their nature to play hunting games for sport. Your cat might be gently swiping at you or give you a little love bite. As long as they're small and controlled, your cat is just trying to be playful. I know it hurts, but they're trying to be playful. If your child was being playful and it hurt a little bit, of course you would let it go. So don't just assume that a cat is biting you because he's angry at you. He wants to let you know something. He's playing. Deal with it. Just deal with it. Sometimes people get angry at their cat and they'll yell at their cat or they'll push their cat away, and that's going to create more of a problem in the long run. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. We are going to Marcia in La Cañada. Hey, Marcia, welcome to the show.
Yeah. Hey there. Thank you so much for the service you do to all the people that love animals and all the animals. And
Well,
so
thank you.
I'll just make that quick. Thank you. Okay, I have two issues that I would discuss. One is very clear cut, but actually the second one might be more interesting about the age of, let's say, a senior citizen. What age, and of course I know it's all shades of gray, no pun intended, but it depends on how they're how robust and how they're not chronologic age, but how they're doing and functioning. So about the age of a senior to maybe adopt an animal, and on the inverse side is like I have a 20-year-old little doggy. I was thinking because my kitty passed away of maybe adopting another, but what age, like if you have a pet, like senior pets, is it better to like let them just live their life out as the only one and not introduce other maybe stressors?
Marcia, that is an absolutely phenomenal question because I get it all the time, and there's no right answer. For example, there are certain senior dogs and senior cats where adding a younger dog or a younger cat to the environment can actually make them feel better. Even if they have to chase them away, they're getting more exercise. It brings them alive a little bit. But on the other hand, there are also senior dogs and cats where if you brought another pet, it would just get them out of joint and they would just kind of freak out over it. So it really depends on the dog or the cat you're talking about. Now, the dog you're talking about that's 20 years old, you said you had another dog for a long time that passed away. How long ago did that? How long ago did the cat pass away?
Oh, the kitty passed away June 17th.
Okay,
and
so
I had her not that long. She was a stray, and she came in, but she became a very integral part, and she was grooming him, and they were getting along.
Oh, yeah.
But then she just suddenly, I had to take her to emergency, but she passed.
Okay, so Marcia, let me guide you. Let me guide you a little bit. I don't want to run out of time, so let me guide you a little bit, okay? If you're considering another pet, what I would do is there are so many rescues and humane organizations here in Southern California. I would contact them. I would see which ones have senior cats that may have just found up at the shelter, that may have lived with dogs in the past, and maybe for whatever reason they wound up there, and work with these local rescues and humane organizations, and they may have an older cat or an older cat that will fit into your home perfectly. I can't guarantee it, but it all depends. And this way, if you work with the rescues and they have older cats, they can bring the cat over. They can see if the dog and the cat are going to accept each other, and they can work it out. So that would be my recommendation at this point if you're considering another pet.
And I have a friend who's 88 years old, and her doggy passed away, and I don't know what to. I thought maybe she could foster or something. She's 88. But
absolutely. Listen. Listen. There's no age limit on being able to foster, as long as the cognitive abilities are there, as long as the financial abilities are there, the food, the veterinary costs, they can foster. But again, what a lot of these rescues do is they will foster with a senior, and that senior will sign a paper that if God forbid something would happen to them, that dog would come back to them to that rescue organization.
That's what should be.
Exactly. Anyway, listen, Marsha, I got to move on. I want you to follow my advice, okay? I guess you're going, so I'll donate your gift to someone else. Anyway, It all depends on the individual dog and the individual cat. Sometimes it works out great. I'm going to get to you, Nancy and Jean. Sometimes it works out great when you bring a younger dog into a home. But in her case, with a 20-year-old dog that lived with a cat, I don't think bringing a kitten in at this point would be the approach. I think that if they could find a rescue or humane, and I'm sure there are some out there that may have a 10-year-old or a 9-year-old or an 8-year-old or a 12-year-old cat that may have, for whatever reason, their guardians passed away and they lived with the dog in the past and they wound up at a rescue, that may be able to guide you and get your 20-year-old dog and the cat to get along with each other. Great call, by the way. But sometimes it works out the other way, too. Sometimes by bringing a younger dog in with an older pet, it really brings that life back. It all depends on the individual animal, and no one knows your dog or cat better than you. Hey, the phone number here at the Pet Show, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. I still got plenty of time for your calls. I got a couple of open lines. Gene, I'm going to get to you. Nancy, I'm going to get to you. 866-870-5752, the way to get through. Let me take a quick break. We'll get back to your calls. Oh, by the way, I'm still waiting. No one's going to respond to what do your dogs and cats do to get your attention? Come on, you know they do something. What do your dog and cat do? What do they do when they want to go outside for a walk? What does your cat do when he gets hungry? What does your cat do when he wants a treat? I'd love to hear from you guys. What does your dog or cat do to get your attention? Give me a call if you get through. A great gift will be on its way, not for you, but for your best friend. 866-870-5752, 866-870-KRLA. What happened to shows like Mr. A? What happened to you? Don't see them anymore. Hey, we are back on the Pet Show. I'm Warren Eckstein. That phone number 866-870-5752, 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. Just a reminder, if you're not following me on YouTube, check it out. I do post a lot of videos there on a daily basis. Check out youtube.com/Warren Eckstein. Subscribe. It's free. You check out some super videos there. Some of your questions may be asked with some of the videos I post there. Some are just like minute videos, quick tips. Some are longer videos. There's even videos of me doing Regis and Kathy Lee years ago, the Mickey Mouse Club, and the Letterman Show, and some other interesting things. And this show live every Saturday. You got that right, Kevin. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number, 866-870-5752. We got someone calling from the great state of Washington. Then we're going to go to, Linda in Santa Monica. We got Jean in Los Angeles. But right now, let's go to Nancy. And Nancy's calling from Richland, Washington. Hey, Nancy, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Warren. I enjoy your show and even your commercials.
Well, thank you. I'm sure my sponsors appreciate that as well. What can I do to help you out, Nancy?
Well, first I just called to say something silly about my dog, and I have two poodles, 13 and 14 years old, small ones. I've had a standard poodle and Irish water spaniels. I love those curly
Irish water. Yeah, Irish water. By the way, if you live with someone that has allergy situations, the Irish water spaniel, the American water spaniel, a Portuguese water dog, those are great dogs for those people because they don't have fur, they have hair instead. Anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Right. Well, so I have Zoe that's 13, and she's had to have both eyes removed. The second one just recently, so that's been very fun to watch her get around. She's just amazing. But she has this unique ability, and it's not because of her eyesight. She's had it all her life, to smell jicama, like clear across the room. Do you know what that is? It's just a root vegetable that to me has no smell. I get it out of the fridge and cut into it, and she's right there to get my attention.
Jicama, I know what jicama is. Not on my priority list, but I know what jicama is. It's certainly not a tomato, but I know what it is. And you're right, it doesn't have a strong smell. But again, our dogs sense the smell, especially when a dog has trouble with their vision. Their other senses generally strengthen a little bit. So even though she's been doing this her whole life, even maybe more so now, what other vegetables besides jicama?
Well, she loves broccoli, but that's the one. It just gets her over, and she just sits there like, "Give me that treat, give me that." And she loves it. She to get other people's attention, she hugs their leg. I mean, if they'll let her, she just wants to hug a leg.
Yeah, it's for some people don't understand that when a dog hugs a leg or humps a leg, whatever you want to call it, I don't care.
No, she just hugs.
She just hugs. It's a way of being close, and it probably goes back. Were these rescue dogs, or did you get them from a breeder?
All of my dogs were, well, not the Irish Water Spaniel, but these were rescued, but rehomed, I'd say. They came from, well, my standard poodle came from a awful situation where she just had puppies for 7 years. But these other two people gave them to me because one had too many dogs and the other one was too active.
So it sounds to me, Nancy, like you took these dogs into your home and they are thrilled to be there. And when people say, everything I do is called Hugs and Kisses. My supplements are Hugs and Kisses. Everything I do is Hugs and Kisses. My company's Hugs and Kisses. I really believe in hugs, and I really believe that dogs do hug. Now, people may say, okay, Warren, maybe it's time for the men in the white coat to put you away for a while. But anyone who's ever had the opportunity to be loved by their dog, who've had a rescue dog that went from a hellish situation into a heavenly situation, really understands the concept that, yes, dogs do hug. Sometimes it's a leg, could be an arm. So it's not always sexual behavior. It's not always dominant behavior. It sometimes can just be nothing more than a hug, and no need to describe it or explain it. It is just a hug.
Yeah, well, hers is because she wants you to pet the top of her head.
There you go. There you go.
Josie has become almost deaf, and since then, what she does to get attention is screech. And I don't know if she doesn't hear herself.
That's when they start losing their hearing is when they start getting louder. My grandparents, for example, when they got older, they spoke louder and louder and louder. I find myself, as I get older, maybe speaking a little bit louder because I'm not hearing myself the way I used to hear myself. But now I got to move on, but what a great story, and what an amazing person you are, taking these animals in and understanding the relationship you have. I'm trying to think of what I want to send you. I can send you Lucy pet food. I can send you doggy lickies. I can send you Hugs and Kisses or a t-shirt. Your choice.
Oh, the doggy lickies. That sounds awesome.
Oh, they're going to love it. I'm telling you, for my friends at Lucy Pet, I'm going to put you on hold. The lovely Suzette is going to pick up, and we are going to, not me, but Lucy's going to send you some Lucy Pet food. By the way, what did I do with that? I wrote it down somewhere. Now I don't know what I did with it. If you were listening earlier, one of the people called me up and they said they tried calling the phone number for Lucy and it wasn't working. Well, the lovely Denise, my wife, just tried it. It's working fine. If you'd rather call them directly, you can call their phone number, 844-724-5829. That's 844-724-5829. It's a lot easier to go to the website, LucyPetProducts.com. The phone number here, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. The phones are absolutely jam-packed. I'm going to get to as many calls as I possibly can, but you all know as soon as I get off the air here, I do my international show for Radio America, and it's the same type of show. I give away the same gifts, and my listeners in LA would be the first ones to call because I'll give you the number before we get off the air here, before anyone else gets it. So hang in there. We'll try to get to as many calls as we can. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. Quick break, then right back to all your phone calls on Warren Eckstein. This is The Pet Show. And we are back on The Pet Show. The phones are jamming. I'll get to as many calls as I can, but also if I don't get your calls, I'll give you that phone number for the network show, and you'll be the first callers there. But right now, let's go to Gene in LA. Hey, Gene, welcome to the show.
Hey, how you doing? Can you hear me okay?
Absolutely. Like, you're right next to me, Gene. What can I do for you?
Okay, I got a cat about 5, 6 years old, and when I would in her water dish, I had one of those things where it had a water reservoir, and I changed the water every, like 4 or 5 days, and it worked out really well. And then I started giving her a dish with water when she was sitting on a chair in the kitchen, and then she stopped using the reservoir water dish, and she would just sit there and cry for me to give her water in the dish in the kitchen. I went and I got her one of those electric water fountains.
Sure.
And I, as far as I can tell, she's not using it. What do I do?
Well,
because
first
I'm going
of
to
all,
be leaving it for a few days. And
yeah, the fountains are a great idea. A lot of cats prefer having water that's moving, but you don't know if she's drinking it or not. That's going to be difficult. We should find out if she's doing it. Okay, but she will drink when you bring her water in a bowl.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Is anyone going to check in on the cat?
No, I'm alone. I don't have any family or anyone.
Well, I would leave several bowls of water spread out around the house. I might, if she's not using the fountain, I might turn the fountain off and let the water just sit in the reservoir. At this point,
okay.
When you come home, let's see if we can get her to use the fountain, though. So when you get back, what you may want to do is try putting maybe a little bit of a chicken bouillon, a little flavoring in there into the fountain, just to kind of get her used to it. What am I looking? What's the word I'm looking for? Some non-salty, non-fattening, some kind of bouillon, chicken flavor, beef flavor, just to kind of get her started. So that's what I would do. But at least in terms of letting her go, if it were more than 2 days, I wouldn't let you do it. If it's more than 2 days, you're not sure she's drinking water. But the fact that she is going to be drinking water and she's going to be gone for 2 days, I think you're okay. I wish you had a camera in your house to watch her, though. It would make it a lot easier for me. So anyway, bottom line is a little flavoring. Let's try that out, see if it doesn't make a difference for you. Then once she starts doing that, then you can turn the fountain back on. See, from a cat's perspective, if the water's not moving, it's not safe to drink. That's why it's kind of the reverse in your situation. The water's moving and she's afraid of it. What I would have done prior to that is I would have had the sound of the fountain giving her the water in the dish that she's used to, but the sound of the fountain in the background to get used to the sound before actually making her drink out of it.
Yeah, she knows where the fountain is because when I first got it, I brought her over and I kind of like pushed her towards it, and she didn't want to go near it.
Well, the fact that you pushed her towards it is not with cats. Once they have a negative association with something, it's kind of difficult to bring them back. So just the fact that the first time she saw it, you had to push her towards it may be enough to make her revolt against using it. So we're going to start from point one, moving it to a different location. We'll try the different tastes in it, see if that doesn't work. If not, we'll go a little bit further. Make sure you leave plenty of water, at least while you're gone.
Okay then. All right. Thank you very much.
No, Jill, what does she do to get your attention?
Well, she's a little bit standoffish, and I'm glad you brought that up because prior to that, I had a different cat. I had her for 17 years.
Yeah.
And I got her when she was a 3-week-old kitten. Someone had apparently put a litter of kittens in a bag and threw it off on the freeway, and somehow this one was thrown to the shoulder, and I just caught it out of the corner of my eye.
Wow.
And I backed up, and and she was this little kitten. The vet said when I took her to the vet that she was 3 weeks old, and I raised her, and I had her for 17 years. And
you know what, Gene? Gene, it's not fair to compare cats. It's not fair to compare that cat to this cat. It's not fair to compare me to my sister. It's not fair for me to compare one dog to another. I know we tend to do that, but we can't do that. Everyone's different. So what I'd like to do is I really want you to, you sound like you really love your cat. I want you to really delve into the behavior. I'm going to put you on hold. I'm going to send you a copy of how to get your cat to do what you want. In the book, there's a lot of cat books out there. What makes my book so different? Not just a matter of litter box training and all that. It actually goes into understanding how to build up your cat's self-image, how to really make them feel good about themselves. And with any living thing, when they feel good about themselves, they feel good about others. So I'm going to send you a copy of How to Get Your Cat to Do What You Want. By the way, that book also available at Amazon.com or my website, thepetshow.com. Great call, by the way. Now, you usually hear me recommend fountains, but in this case, it was a totally opposite situation. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. Let me do this. I'm going to take a break right now. I'm going to try to get to Linda, Patricia, Sue, and David. If I don't get to your calls, write this number down. You'll be my first callers on my national show, which starts at 3 minutes after 1, right after I get off the air. So write this number down. Because for everyone out there, if you're trying to get through, 877-725-8255. 877-725-8255. But don't start calling that till 1 o'clock. Quick break, then right back to your calls. I'm Warren Eckstein. This is The Pet Show. Let me go to my friend Linda, but let me give you the phone number again because I know I'm going to run out of time for Patricia and Sue. Write this number down. You'll be my first call. It's coming back on the network show. Start calling at 1 o'clock, but be patient. It goes into Washington, D.C. to Radio America. Write this number down, 877-725-8255, 877, also toll free, 877-725-8255. 8255. Same type of show, give away the same gifts. Check it out. If you're listening, you can call then. Right now, let me go to Linda in Santa Monica, my old hometown. Hi, Linda. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. How are you?
I am doing super. What can I do for you?
Well, I was just going to tell you how my cats get my attention.
What do they do?
I have 3 cats. The 17-year-old likes to stand up on her hind legs and put her front legs on my legs so that she's standing up, leaning on me, and that's telling me pay attention.
Sure.
Or feed me, one or the other, or both. Then I have a 12-year-old who has started barking when she'll be in the hallway and I'll be in the room and she'll be out there going, she's barking at me and she wants attention.
And what do? You give her attention, right?
Well, I call to her and I tell her that I hear her and everything's okay. And sometimes she comes in and looks at me and says, are you coming or not?
Yeah.
And then the third cat, she's been with me now for over a year. She's about 12 also. And she still won't let me too close to her. So she gets my attention just by not getting my attention.
Well, do you leave a lot of articles of your clothing laying around where she hangs out?
Well, she has taken to roaming the whole house. In fact, the other 12-year-old doesn't like her and hisses and growls at her. But even they're getting a little bit better.
I was going to say, sometimes the hissing and growling, it sounds like the Armageddon, but eventually they adjust to each other and get along. What a lovely lady you are, taking in all these cats. Unbelievable.
Well, they're wonderful and they're lovely, and I love all 3.
I guess you do. And 17 years. What is with my listeners have to be amazing. Everyone so far to call me with cat, one 17-year-old cat, a 22-year-old cat. I want to come back as my listeners' cats if they're living that long. That's all I got to say. So, Linda, great call, by the way, Linda. So don't go in. Let's put Linda on hold. Linda, you know what? No, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Let me go back. Go ahead, Linda. Go ahead.
I'm with you, Linda. My gift to rescue, please.
I absolutely will. I will do that. Great call, by the way. Say hello to all my friends in beautiful Santa Monica. We will donate a gift. We are out of time. Write this number down, Patricia and Sue. You'll be my first calls. The phone number, 877-725-8255. 877-725-8255. Thank you, lovely Suzette, for answering all the phone calls. And Kevin, you kept me on the air. What an incredible guy. Again, the number for the network show, 877-725-8255. Till next week, you all know what to do by now. Give all your pets a big hug and a kiss for you. One right between the ears for me. I'm Warren Eckstein. And once again, thank you for listening to The Pet Show.